Okay, BugeyeBob back here again. This week, gonna focus on fixing the other door, tearing out some bad stuff from the rear of the car so I can get up inside and get some of the dents out in the wings and stuff.
You look bored, they said. Restore a car, they said. It'll be easy, clean fun, they said. So I bought a car to restore. They lied. Restoration is a dirty, thankless job.
Let's take a look at this door first. Not sure why, but for some reason, this door, where the other one rotted out completely across the bottom, this just left a whole bunch of little holes in it. So what I did was I took a step drill. Is there a step drill handy? Yes. Took a step drill and drilled them out. Most of them are drilled out to the size where I can put one of these little tiny punches, which were punched out of other metal where I needed to do plug welds. So what I'm going to do is I took a piece of aluminum sheet strip here. I can slide that up underneath. Take one of those little punch holes, set it in there like that, and that gets that right level. I'll be able to weld that right in. So that's the way I'm going to be doing all of those. Every one of these doors, for whatever reason, they cut this metal and it develops cracks right here on every damn door that I've seen. So my plan is I've made up a couple of angle brackets, just like I did on the other door. Those will go up in there, and they'll be plug welded in, and that will stiffen this up so that it's not going to crack any further, and those will be just fine. Some of these bigger holes, I've got some larger plugs I can probably pop in there, but I'll probably just cut pieces of metal to fit in. Then over in this corner, this piece was mounted in there and spot welded in. And as you can see, this is where one of the door hinges hooks on, and you can see that this is rotted out and busted. So I have made this piece that you saw me make in a previous episode, and it will get plug welded up inside of here also. Like so. Then I got a bunch of little holes along the bottom I'm going to have to plug up. But once again, those holes, plug them up. Then when I get it all done, I will spray down the inside with either rust converter or galvanizing, cold galvanizing spray. I'm not sure which I'm going to do just yet. But one of those two will cover the inside. Now, come back here to the back of the vehicle. I cut the bracket holding this little mini bumper on. I don't know, it's not called a mini bumper, it's called something else. I'll put a note in on what it's actually called. Took off this rear license plate light assembly. This piece mounted up inside, and it's where the bolts for the mini bumper go. Now let me show you what I did. So in order to be able to get everything back here that I needed to take off, I took a grinder with a cutoff disc and just cut out all of the bad metal off of this rear boot floor pan. And you can see there's where the screws went through to hold that tail light assembly. Also managed to get the Sprite emblem off without breaking the little posts on the back. It's actually held with these little tiny clips, which I don't know if they're called Tinnerman clips. I've seen things like that called Tinnerman clips, but I don't know if that's the exact name for these. But anyways, and I also don't know if this is bent or if that's supposed to be straight. It almost looks like it was made bent like that. I'll have to check out unmolested sprite to find out. One advantage to having this cutout down here is that I can get back up inside of here now and work on, shit, I thought I could. Yeah, I can. It's just going to be a little difficult to get my hand up behind it. But I can get a dolly up in there now. Start working on this metal to bring it all up. It'll take some work. That seems to be fairly thick, solid metal, but it will happen. The work on the rear end back here is in the future. Don't know how many episodes out, but sometime in the future it'll happen. So that's future stuff, but my goal this week is get the doors done so that I can get the A-pillar inner and outers done and try to get everything pretty much on the front of the car completed except for the floor pans. I'm going to wait on the floor pans because there's stuff that's got to be done up inside of here. So the floor pans are going to be going in late. Onward and upward, and time to do some welding. I may or may not show you some of that. I'm never sure how much people want to see of the welding and the grinding and things like that. If you want to see it, let me know, and I'll try to make sure to include some of it. Trying to make these as interesting and as formative as I can, so that's where we're headed on things. Well, as one would expect, the second I started to set everything up to do this welding outside was the second that the wind started blowing, which made it impossible to weld outside. So, welding inside it is. Fire in the hole. Yeah. Not pretty, but it worked. The nice thing about using the aluminum is it pulls some of the heat away, but it also doesn't stick to the steel. So it works as a backer. I worked on an aluminum boat one time, and when I was working on it, I used this same sort of concept, but I used a piece of stainless steel as the backer, and that worked great for plugging holes in the aluminum boat. All right, I am going to try using a technique to plug up these holes in this little thin metal of coming in with a MIG wire at an angle, because at an angle it's actually thicker. It's treating it like it's thicker metal than it actually is. So what I'll do is I'll go around each of these little holes and build it up and then fill it in. So let's see how that works. And I'm set at 80 amps using 025 wire, 17.3 feet per minute and 15.5 volts. Let's see how this works. Reach down and swat that like button, pop in a quick comment, and subscribe to this channel. You can help save Lazarus from the scrap bin by making a one-time donation via PayPal, or join as a member on Patreon. See the links below. Now you might have noticed that I'd hit it, let a weld build up a little bit, and then let it cool off. And I kept doing that. I think I want to hit this one right there just a little bit. And that's it. Now those welds look like crap, but they're going to be ground down, so we don't give a shit what they look like right now. All we care about is what are they going to look like after they're ground down. And my bet is they'll be fine. So that leaves me this one nasty hole right here that I got to take care of. One of the things that frustrates me when I use TIG to fill in these holes is I get a little bit of scalloping. I don't know what else you'd call it, but I call it scalloping around the edges. Let's see if I can find the perfect spot to show you, which is, you might be able to see it some right around here. It's like no matter how much filler rod I put in, it'll build up, but it'll scallop back the edge of the base metal. And what I found I have to do frequently is go back, and I'm just using the MIG gun to hit little spots and fill these things in. So for instance, right here, you can see I've actually just done a little long run, and the MIG, when I'm doing this, is set for 95 amps, 95 amps, 20.9 feet per minute, and 15.8 volts with 025 wire. So the machine thinks I'm welding 14 gauge, but obviously I'm not. But that seems to get the metal in, particularly like right here. You can see I actually did a little short stringer weld right there, which should grind down pretty good. And you can see right in here, I actually did some more of those little tiny stringer welds, which actually worked halfway decent. So now, and here's some more up here, if I can get it to, there's some more of those little stringer welds right in there. So there's some more of those little stringer welds right in there. I actually had this metal, you can't tell exactly where it's rotten through. It wasn't punched through all the way, but occasionally when you start putzing around in there, you'll blow out a hole, and these two here are ones that blew out and I had to fill back up again. And I showed you the technique that I use for that. So I'm going to take these back outside again, grind these back down one more time. I don't think I'll need to do any more filling after those are done. Then I will vacuum this all out, clean as much of this crud off as I can. There's some spots like right up around here. It's kind of rusty. I'll try to get that cleaned out. Some of this down in here, I don't know how the hell I can get at it. There's a couple of spots that feel a little rough. I'll try to get those smoothed out. But then I am going to put in those angle pieces here and over here and get those welded in, and then weld in the crack in the metal on each side. Before I weld these in, I will spray down the whole inside with cold galvanizing compound. Get as much of the crud off as I can with a wire brush, then hit it with a cold galvanizing compound to, hopefully that will make it so that it doesn't rust quite so fast. Okay, the door is done. Ooh, a little bit of echo from it. You will notice along the bottom, no more holes. These front corners here, Got a couple of little spots that need to be filled in. The big dent right through there. How convenient having those. The big dent right through here is cleared out. Everything has been, oh, let's see what else is done. Oh, I put in the door mount there. So this thing is done. Paint's still a little sticky, but hopefully I didn't leave any handprints in it. Oh no, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. No, I don't think I did. It'll be fine, just fine. Is it pretty? No. I got these braces in the sides here so that hopefully this won't flex anymore and break anymore. Progress on it was kind of like how an elephant with diarrhea is. Slow and sloppy, but progress. Some days you measure progress in miles, some days you measure it in millimeters. And today I guess we can measure it in mediocrity. So next step up is, now that I got both doors done, and there's a proof the other door is done. Next step up is going to be jumping into putting in the A-pillar inner and outers. Had to get the doors done so that I could make sure that the A-pillars mounted to make all the joints or gaps around everything all fine and pretty. So that's the next step, and that's what will be coming next week, hopefully. Good Lord willing, and the creeks don't dry. And like, share, comment, subscribe. If you can do it, become a subscriber over on Patreon. It's like $4 a month, and it's greatly appreciated. Any help at all is appreciated. If you'd like to do a one-time donation and buy me a soda pop or a cup of coffee, then there's a link down below where you can go to PayPal and do a quick donation there, a one-time or a recurring donation. And any money that comes in that's donated goes right to the car. It's either going to go in as some replacement metal for the back or in materials to fix things up with. So that's kind of where we're at on things. You folks have an absolutely fantastic life. Oh, my air conditioner just kicked on. It's 77 degrees here in Pensacola, Florida today, January 8th, folks. Gotta love Pensacola during the winter. So anyways, you folks have an absolutely fantastic day, a fantastic life, and we will see you next week. BugeyeBob, over and out.